Women are emotional creatures. It's the only thing I can say, and that's the only way I can come up with a reason that CJ Ross gave that fight, Canelo versus Mayweather, 114-114, a draw. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's ridiculous. I mean, I've watched the fight multiple times. You guys can watch the fight again tonight if you want. It's replaying on Showtime. Generously, I gave Canelo 3 rounds. I mean, to see 4 would be shocking, but 6, that's ridiculous. I know a lot of people that had it a shutout. I've seen comments, 1 round, 2 rounds. Some people say 3. That's fine, but 6-6 a draw is ridiculous. I think the fix was in. They're looking for a new star. If you see the other Georgia judges' scorecards, those are kind of ridiculous too. The only reason we're not talking about them is because we're talking about CJ Ross. Luckily, she has stepped down. She will no longer be, judging fights. I don't understand how she got the biggest fight of the year when just last year, in 2012, she gave the win to Bradley over Pacquiao, where the fight was reviewed and they said Pacquiao had won, but they couldn't do anything to reverse the decision. I mean, everybody in the world knew Pacquiao won that fight. So that she got this fight again, something's up. There was a fix. There had to be something that De La Hoya did, or that, they had to have done something that they wanted. They wanted something, and I bet you, it had to do with the catch weight. They were like, then we get to pick the judges, something. Something wasn't right there, and I'm happy she stepped down because she obviously cannot judge fights. Maybe she was going with the fans yelling so much because the fans were going crazy for everything Canelo did. A miss, he hit the arm, he hit Floyd's arms, whatever it was they were going crazy for. It's ridiculous. So I could see that, I could understand that. But yeah, this fight's not a fight breakdown, post breakdown. We all saw what happened. Mayweather destroyed him. I mean, just picked him apart. Canelo was, besides being tired, besides having no stamina, just wasn't mentally there. Was frustrated, was missing tons of shots. He only landed, I think, 20% of his punches. That's pretty ridiculous. That's the type of stuff Floyd does to you. But, just couldn't hit him, couldn't get to him. He was frustrated visibly. We saw in the 4th round with a low blow, a blatant low blow. The ref goes to grab him, tries to pull him apart. When he slips and tries to, get back to pull it apart, Canelo goes and hits Floyd with a blatant low blow. We all saw that, I mean, the kid just was overmatched. He, that's what happens when you're 23. The same thing happened to Victor Ortiz. A young kid, arrogant kid, thought he had a really good shot, realized he didn't, could not hit Floyd, could not, time him, couldn't do anything. And then the next thing you know, he's throwing a headbutt in the, I think it was the 4th round as well. He threw that headbutt. Yeah, he threw that headbutt, and he just completely lost it. And maybe that's De La Hoya's game plan, throw an illegal shot in the 4th. I don't know. But a blueprint he gave him was definitely pretty shitty. Unless it had to do with low blow / headbutt in the 4th. Let's see what happens. Because that was the only thing that could have saved him, was illegal tactics. I really hope Canelo doesn't become one of those fighters. I don't want to see Canelo, getting pissed off in future fights and doing stuff he regrets. I think he's a good kid. I think he's a good fighter. I think we'll see him again. And I really do think he's going to fight Cotto next, and that'll be a good fight. And, I wish the best to Canelo, but he was just outmatched that night. Floyd just had him. So anyways, I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to do a video real quick just to, excuse me, break down. He's got 4 fights left on his contract, 4 fights left to a legacy, in my opinion. He's already carving out a nice niche with the guys he's beaten. Maybe it'll drown out the naysayers and the haters saying he cherry picks, because I really don't think he does. I think he fights the best out there. But then again, it's prize fighting. He's fighting for the ultimate prize, money. He wants money. He's not going to fight. If the best guy out there is going to bring 750,000 pay-per-view buys, he's not going to do that. He won't fight him. He'll take a guy who's a good fighter who, the Canelo-Mayweather fight did 2.2 million buys, still counting. That's insane. That's easy money. He's going to make 80 to 100 mil for one night to fight a guy that he won every round. That's the type of stuff Floyd's looking for. Easier fights. Or he's looking for the hardest fights for the right money. So there's a bunch of guys out there, and I'm going to go with who he fights. I'm going to go with his next 4 opponents. I'm also going to tell you who he should fight for his legacy. But due to money situations, due to, other things, he won't fight them. So four guys that he should fight, that he needs to fight to improve his legacy, to really go down as the greatest of all time, because I have him top 5, and I think by the end of this he'll be top 3 in consideration for the best ever. But as far as this goes, these are 4 guys he needs to fight that would put him at number 1. Okay, I'm gonna start off with Devin Alexander. He's a left-handed southpaw, very quick, very fast, great fighter, smart guy. He needs to fight him. I think that'd be a great fight. That'd be a slick fighter, and it would be something to see. I think he needs to fight him. Then I think he needs to go fight Timothy Bradley. Bradley's a great fighter. We all know this. No matter how you scored the Pacquiao-Bradley fight, you definitely gave some rounds to Bradley. He did some things in there that shocked a lot of people. He definitely, could have done a lot better, and I would love to see a rematch. He hurt his leg. He twisted his ankle, I think, in like the 3rd or 4th, caused a lot of problems. But he was really giving it to Pacquiao. Pacquiao missed a lot of those shots. The fight was HBO pay-per-view, and it was very, very biased towards Pacquiao. If you take the audio off on that fight, man, Bradley did some things. Then he goes and he fights Provatnikov in Fight of the Year, a great fight again where he shows his granite, solid chin. I mean, the guy's amazing. The guy's got a great chin. I mean, just what he does in there. Great counterpuncher, great fighter. He's got a lot of tools in that toolbox that could give Floyd problems. He's not afraid for infighting. He's not afraid for anything. He's also at an age where he will not let mental collapses happen like Victor Ortiz or Canelo Alvarez. He won't go, oh shit, it's the 6th. I've lost all rounds. What's the point? Because a lot of people do that. They reach a speed bump with Floyd. They don't go over it. They get knocked to the side, whatever the case may be, and they don't want to finish the fight. They freak out, and, that happens to a lot of these guys. And you got to have a solid mindset to go, even though I'm down, I can do this. Floyd's a man. He's not a machine. Tim has that, okay? That would be another great fight. He has to fight Manny Pacquiao 147 just to put down the naysayers, just to show it's a great fight. I mean, Manny Pacquiao, great champ that he is, heart, he comes at you, he's consistent, he's ruthless. That would be a great fight. Definitely needs to happen. Because it didn't happen in 2009, it has to happen. Okay, the 4th guy I think he has to fight is he needs to fight somebody heavier. He needs to finish with a guy who's heavy, guy who's set. And I think that's Sergio Martinez. I think you could fight him at 154, maybe even 160, take his belt. That would be amazing. If for some reason Maravilla loses a fight on the way, because he is getting a bit older, he didn't look as amazing in his last fight. If that happens, another guy, there's 2 other guys I would like to see Floyd finish with that will cement his legacy. These fights aren't going to happen due to timing, due to what have you, due to friendships, but Adrian Broner and Keith Thurman. I think those 2 guys pose a huge threat. Broner is growing. He's on his way up. He, in my opinion, hits harder than Floyd. He's a mini Floyd, but hey, you got to do it. Keith Thurman is just one time. Great fighter. I mean, we saw in the Chavez fight that he doesn't give up. He lost. He was down later in the fight, but he didn't care. He kept fighting. He kept looking for angles. And, man, did he find him when he dropped him. I mean, Keith Thurman, that's a guy I think you got to do it. You got to fight him. So those fights, I think, need to happen to help his legacy. Now, here are the 4 fights that will happen due to money, due to circumstances that Floyd loves, money, okay? And just the way it's going to be set up. These are the fights that are going to happen. Danny Garcia is going to be next. I think that's easy money. I don't want to see that fight, but hey, they brought Garcia up the right way. He's got a couple impressive wins. He's got his dad, who's a great character that could sell on All Access. I could really see that being a big selling point. We're definitely looking at 1.3 to 1.5 mil. I mean, pay-per-view buys, it's going to be great. Fight-wise, I think Floyd kills him. Maybe, it's over for Danny. Then I think he steps up and fights Amir Khan, or Amir steps up and fights him. Easy money. Amir's got glass jaw. He's going to bust him up. He's going to show Amir's weaknesses. But I think he fights Amir Khan for what Amir brings, the money, all the UK fans. It's going to be packed house. The fight's been talked about for years. You know, Khan's a young guy. I think we see that fight. Two other places I think that Floyd goes to after those two fights are done are, I actually do think he fights Manny, but I think Manny's going to be the fourth fight. I think Manny Pacquiao will be the last fight. He just wants to clear the air. He just wants to show he's the best. The only other guy in this generation you could consider being the best is Manny Pacquiao. So he's going to shut up all the haters. He's going to try and, you know, dwindle down their fire, and he's going to leave beating Manny Pacquiao, which I think is huge. Another massive money fight if Manny wins these fights. Everybody's going to be running, going, Floyd's last fight, Floyd's last fight. We have to see it. It's going to sell. I think that fight right there with the stacked undercard could beat Mayweather De La Hoya from 2007 as far as pay-per-view buys go. So I think he's going to go Pacquiao last. I think before Pacquiao, he's going to step into the 154-pound division. He's going to step in there. Either Martinez will go down or he's going to fight Lara at 154. Lara's a great fighter. I think he kind of cleans out the 154-pound division. I see him beating Canelo, and I think when that happens, those two meet up. I think Mayweather wins that fight too. I think Mayweather wins his last four. I really do. I think there's nothing stopping this from happening. Mayweather will go out undefeated, 49-0. Another big thing that I think is going to happen is that once he's 49-0, he's going to be 38. He's going to retire. I think maybe a year or two goes by, he gets that itch to come back, and he's going to come back into the ring to fight the best fighter out there to become 50-0. I'm calling this right now. I don't know who it'll be, but man, will that fight sell. Okay, everybody's going to want to see Floyd come back. Everybody's going to want to see what happens. Mark my words, he's going to end 49-0 and come back a couple years later to fight the best fighter out there. 47, 54, doesn't matter. He'll do it. I know Floyd is going to do it. Okay, I'm signing off, guys. My next video will be on Floyd's biggest threat out there. A lot of people don't know the name. I'm going to drop in the next one. See you guys.